Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording this Wednesday. So guys, I'm going to jump right on in. I want to address the email that I got from someone in regards to going through that phase where it's like everyone tells you like, oh, you've forgotten about us, or you forgot where you came from, or you're always so busy and you're so this and you're so that and all that other stuff, right? I made a recording on this last year. The higher you go, and the more you work on self, you will get this a lot. I still get this a lot. And if I'm honest, it bothered me at the very beginning. But now, I'm so solid in this area. And I'll tell you why I'm so solid in that area. So first thing again, understand that, the people you grew up with, these can be family, friends, so on. So you guys have a lot in common. You grew up in the same households, you grew up in the same neighborhoods, you went to the same schools, you have a lot in common. There's only a small percentage of people who make that conscious decision to answer their call, that conscious decision to heal themselves, or allow God to heal them, I should say, in order to get on the path to their destiny so God can take you higher. A lot of people don't answer that call. And then there's a lot of people who answer the call and realize how much is involved and how difficult it is that they abandon the process, right? So that means you are already in a very small percentage of people to begin with. So now what happens is, well, truth of the matter is you don't even know what's all entailed. So you figure you can just kind of, go on with life as usual, and your old life still remains the same. So you didn't realize that at some point you would have to be leaving people behind. In fact, if you probably knew that, you probably would have not went on with the process, because again, that's our comfort zone. That's our default setting. So once God throws you literally in isolation season, which is usually going to be your first season, then this is a time that you really, really start trying to reach back out to your old peoples, regardless of what he's telling you. And it's because you're lonely, and it's because you're in a very uncomfortable situation. You don't know what's in front of you, and God won't allow you to go behind you or back. So then after you get through your isolation season, and then God starts to then put you in your transformation season, what you will discover is that a lot of the things you were doing, a lot of the ways you were living was not it. So then you get this enlightenment, because what happens is God will start showing you different examples of what really life is, what really living is about, right? Really, so he will start to put people who will start to expose you and show you certain things. And the more things you start to see and experience, you almost start looking back at your old life like, what the heck was I thinking? How could I have just been okay with living such a mediocre lifestyle where, you just wake up every day, go to work, go home, go to sleep, wake up every day. So it's almost like, how did I not know that so much more exists? That God has so many blessings for all of his children. How did I not know that? So then you gravitate more towards the more. And before you know it, once you start gravitating towards the more itself, because each level is a whole learning process. So now you're spending more of your time, learning, being exposed to things, fighting different storms, because of course, new levels, new devils. So you're going through all of that. So you're not even thinking about your old friends and your old this behind you. And it's not even intentional. You're just trying to survive and learn and study the next level. But they feel like you've forgotten about them. But remember how you left them. They weren't doing much. Respectfully, that's not like a diss or a disrespect to them, because you were once them. So because they're not doing much, they got nothing but time on their hand. So when you have time on your hand, what do? You need to call and harass everybody. So now you're calling my phone about why are you so busy? And I'm like, why aren't you busy? You should be busy. So it's not like you are forgetting about people and that you're leaving people behind intentionally. It's just a natural part of the process. So then once you go through your transformation season, then you go on to your healing process. So once you heal, mind you, again, that's work. My God, does that work? That's work within itself. That's storms and attacks within itself. So you're really still not thinking about old friends and all this and all that and all that. You're just trying to survive. You're trying to survive. And once you are in that middle of that healing process and you finally start to experience what peace really is, what healthy relationships are. So you're starting now to get a taste of another lifestyle. And because you're healed now, or in your healing process now, you look back and realize how toxic that lifestyle was. It was stressful. There's anxiety. There's mental health. It's that robbing Peter to pay Paul mentality. It's that people-pleasing mentality. It's that allowing people to use and abuse your mentality. All that stuff, right? So you realize how toxic the relationships you were in, if I hadn't said that yet. So then at that point, and now because you've experienced peace, happiness, wholeness, you want no part of it. And it's not that you're rejecting them. It's not that you don't want to be around them. It's not that, well, you don't want to be around them, but it's not that you don't love them. What happens is, because you've experienced that peace, to be around them disturbs your peace. And because you know how precious peace is, you will then do everything to protect that peace. So that means I have to turn down 70 party invitations, because I know that it's just not going to be peaceful and it's just going to be drumming and toxic and all the nonsense. I'm not speaking about me. I'm speaking in general as a whole. Then that's what I'll do. So now, because you're avoiding going to these, I don't know, family reunions, family functions, high school reunions, or whatever. Now you're not wanting to attend because it's just not peaceful. But now everyone says, oh, she or he forgot where they came from. And because they hadn't been processed themselves, they can't relate it to within a process. You will be exposed to more. Within a process, you go through healing. Within a process, you learn what healthy relationships. So because they haven't been through the process, they don't know what is involved in the process. They just see it as you've changed. And it's almost like, well, I thought that's what we should do in life is change. Who is still doing the same thing they did 10 years ago or 15, 20 years ago, 5 years ago? Who is doing the same thing? So you're telling me I changed. The question is, why haven't you changed, boo? Right? So you're always asking me, why am I so busy? The question really is, why aren't you busy? Because healing will keep you busy. Purpose will keep you busy. So you're going to have to, and I know you say you're having a hard time with this. I promise you I did. I promise you I did. I promise you I did. I felt myself picking up the phone. I felt myself going to places that I didn't want to go because I was worried about they may feel like, Kizzy just done change. I did all that. I promise you I did. I did all that. And guess what? I was miserable sitting there because my peace was disturbed. So it's more about intentionality. You have to be intentional about making that decision, and you're going to have to be okay with what they say. But I'll tell you this, anybody who truly, truly loves you will not see it that way. They really should be happy for you that you are going higher. If they're really giving you a hard time and you feel like they're trying to like really like throw some shade and pull you back, those ain't your friends, boo. Those ain't your people, boo. Because I got, some friends who I'm just not sitting up on the phone talking. I'm just not going that is just not my thing. I know some people hate text messages. And then you got the group of people like myself who hate speaking on the phone. I know it's important for different reasons, especially because some things can be misinterpreted when you're texting or emailing. So I get that. So again, I do make that a priority with certain relationships in my life. But listen, I would rather be face to face, first and foremost, face to face. Next would be text. Next would be email. Next would be talking on the phone. And I know some people is the complete opposite. You rather talk on the phone first, then text, then email, then whatever. We're all just different, right? We're all just different. So, I lost my train of thought. I have some friends who we never spoke on the phone daily per se, but I mean, we caught up with each other at least like once a week. We would text all the time, but we maybe speak or see each other once a week. Some of these friends I haven't seen since coronavirus hit, right? But that bond is still there. It's like, I know Kizzy's busy, but she's good. I know Kizzy's busy, but I'm busy too. I know Kizzy, you feel me? So those are those solid relationships. We don't have to talk every day, but when we talk or when we catch up, we really catch up. So those are your solid people. And then again, within your process, you will be introduced to more people. And not a lot of people, because let me tell you something. The higher you go, the less people you need. You just need about a real good solid 2-3 people, if that's. Right? In your inner circle. I'm not speaking about like networking or business, but like in your inner circle who really, really hold you down. A good solid 2 or 3, including your dude or your girl or whatever. But you don't need a lot of people. Long as that team is solid, nothing from the outside can penetrate that small circle. That's all you need. For real. So now I don't care. Let me tell you why I don't care. I started the recording off with that. I'm going to tell you why I do not care. And my God, I get these messages all the time. I get them all the time. Why don't you answer your phone? Why don't you answer your messenger? Why are you so busy? Why you... Okay. First off, if you're calling me off of Facebook Messenger, that means I never gave you my number to begin with. So you might need to call Facebook to ask them why they are allowing a feature for you to call somebody's phone who's never going to answer your call. All right. We good there, right? That's for like the, Next thing, there's a group of people, blood included, some included, who when I was more available and I could give you more time, you didn't respect or receive that to the fullest. You didn't even support, right? You didn't even support. So when I had all this time, this free time to give you, so now all of a sudden I have no time. Now you realize how valuable I am. Isn't that a little backwards? But see, that's how people are. People truly won't really see what's in you until you quote unquote make it. When they see you going higher. But see, I'm different because I can see the light within people before they even make it. If you're wise, those are the people you really want to attach yourself to when no one else believes in them, but you see that light, you see that something in them. I got a couple of friends like that, probably 2, who, long time ago, they would always tell me, I see God just, I'm like, girl, child, I don't see none of that. But they saw it and they believed in it. And then they spoke and then they poured into me. But you can't be ready to receive things until you are ready to receive them yourself. So we're good and we're still good. But it's those individuals who didn't support you, didn't appreciate you, playing with you all kind of way, won't do their part, almost you got to beg and run them down to try to do the right thing, those are the ones who you're going to hear from the most now. So reflect back on the times that they didn't support you, the times they didn't believe in you, the times they cheated on you, the times they did. Focus right there. Focus right there. Because if you focus right there, then that alone will help you to understand and realize that you owe nobody nothing. You fumbled the ball, point blank, period. So stop harassing my nerves now. It's all love, I promise you. It's all love. I promise you. But leave me alone. You got to do that. You have to do that. So now, when these messengers start ringing that little Facebook messenger sound, I'm going to reject the call, then block the call. I don't care who you are, point blank, period. If I didn't give you my number, don't call my phone. And trust me, I tell them this. Again, anybody who knows me personally knows this is Kizzy. I don't bite my tongue. I'm extremely down to earth. I'm extremely fun. I'm extremely cool. Now, one thing people don't know about me truly is I'm extremely sensitive. You guys would probably never think that I'm sensitive, and I'm shy in a lot of areas. I'm shy. But I do not play when it comes down to people harassing my nerves. I had to check somebody earlier today about that nonsense. When I said, leave me alone, leave me alone. So yes, it's focus right there. That's what's going to help you. I know you're struggling now, but if you just keep being intentional about not responding unless you want to respond, but not because you are operating from a seed of people pleasing, what you will discover is this: the real will stay planted and the fake will fall off. You will have a lot of people falling off. The higher you go, the more you stay away. You know, truth of the matter is, as devastating as coronavirus and quarantine has been for so many families, it's been a blessing for a lot. It's been a blessing for a lot of people. You realize that half of the people you had around you, you don't even need them people. Like, life went on and it's not like, you know. So the higher you go, your solid ones will remain. It's going to only be a couple. I promise you, a couple. And the fake and the phonies will fall off. And lastly, again, you are not obligated to anyone. The only person you should be obligated to is those who truly held you down and had your back and did right by you, you know, throughout throughout your life, period. But if they weren't solid, their regret is their regret. That has nothing to do with you. You just live your life. Keep shining, baby. Keep shining. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.